So for this TR, I'm gonna give you my experience about the Bible and how it impacted my learning experience and my better learning of theology. So this week we went to Washington D.C. to see the Museum of the Bible in Washington D.C. Um, and honestly, it was one of my favorite field trips I've ever taken regarding theology. I mean, the amount I learned and the amount I took away was greater than most of the museums I think I could have gone. I could have gone with that we could have gone with. Um, um, in that museum, there was just so much information that they even said it'll take 3 to 4 days straight to explore everything, like every single thing. But yeah, that museum is where I think I took away the most ever. Um, at the museum, I looked through how the Bible affected fashion, how it affected everyday life, the writing styles that the Bible affected, the food that was affected, just how how much lifestyle in general was affected by the Bible. I didn't know that, so it was good to see that. Um, but yeah, after seeing that, I went over to other sections which showed about different time periods and how the Bible contributed to different time periods and how there were times of violence, like the Crusades that we're learning about now. There are times of violence with two groups clashing, and it just showed the different periods of history and how different they were. Um, but like for me at least, I'm a visual learner. I like to see things. I just take away from most things seeing it and actually doing it myself, if that makes any sense. Um, but this museum had everything. Not only could you just read it like you would, I guess, in a regular classroom, but you could there were like for some exhibits there were hand-on examples that that you could participate in, and it would just make you understand it even more because you would experience it firsthand. But yeah, that really helped my understanding. The more of those I did, the better. The more I would have. I think I if we had more time, I think the more we would have done that. The more I would have taken away. Um, they also had I don't exactly know where. I know what section it was in. It was a lady presenting ink pressing. I took from that away the most because there was an actual model and she had an actual she showed the actual method of what people were doing um to uh to write documents at the time where of course they didn't have a printer. And there was a lady who was all dressed up. It was pretty much like a reenactment, and she spoke to us and showed us how to do it. That was, I think, the coolest because not only do we just get to see somebody who's specialized in doing those type of things, but we got to just like experience it firsthand and see what it was actually like. So that was one of my favorite parts. That was one of my favorite parts about the museum was definitely just the visual aids which came with the museums. Um, I didn't really have a least favorite part at all. I thought that was one of the better museums regarding theology I've ever been on. The museum was open. It was it was new with state of the art technology that could help that could help us learn without um, sitting and listening to someone talk for 6 hours in front of a piece of art. There were models that would help you understand the information firsthand, and that was probably my definitely that's what made this museum stick out from all the rest of the museums. Um, but yeah, what else? I wish we did have more time though at the museum because I would have liked to see more. Because I think I saw, I don't know what floor the fashion modeling was on, but I wish we could have seen more and seen how the other floors were. But before I went into the fashioning and modeling, and how it impacted all of that stuff, I went into art, like the pieces of art and some different books, and I thought that was cool too. Because the books, some of them were ancient books drawn by hand, and some of them look perfect, and you just think about like, hey, they didn't have a printer. They did thousands of pages by hand, and the pages looked almost flawless. Everything looked spot on, centered. I just thought that was really cool too, that they had those actual pieces there that you could see and just look at and see how perfect uh, the ancient writing was at the time. Um, But yeah, that was my second favorite part. I mean, again, I really didn't have there wasn't a bad part about the museum. I took away a lot from that museum. Um, there was probably in that art piece there was probably an art piece or book regarding at the time period of the Crusades. It's just I never got to it because there were so many other ones that were interesting, and I don't know. It was that I don't know what was my favorite part. It's a toss up between that by the book impressing and that, because of how just again, me being a visual learner just helps to see that. But yeah, I had a great time at the museum, and yeah, that is it. All right.